some new information about this individual right here, Genesee Moreno, aka Jeffrey Escalante Moreno, the Lakewood Church mass shooter, or shooter, could have been a mass shooting, in Houston, Texas. This individual has an extensive criminal record, and I want to share that record with all of you right here. It's wild, folks, and then we will further discuss. Check it out.
No.
Okay, so here is a list of all the arrests of Genesee Moreno. Prior criminal record: unlawful carrying a weapon, failure to maintain financial responsibility, evading arrest detention, forgery to defraud or harm of another, assault, theft, evading arrest, possession of marijuana. The most recent arrest seems like it happened in April of 2022. This individual has been getting in trouble with the law for over a decade, and now committed this horrible act at Lakewood Church. Let me know what you think. So this individual has numerous mug shots going back at least a decade. Now, I've been digging on this individual. This person was a member of the Lakewood Church in Houston. That's Joel Osteen's church, the mega church. Why did this individual right here, why did this individual do this horrific crime? I think it could have been much, much worse. Brought a child with them. Possibly used the child as a human shield. Also, we don't know much information about the substance that was sprayed all over the place. Plus, they brought the bomb squad there. What was the intent here? Also, I want to say that this individual donated to the church before and was a prior member. And it's interesting because this individual, over the years on social media, and we've shared this individual's Facebook page. One is into real estate, and two, posts a lot of God stuff. So I find that very, very interesting. What's your thoughts about this individual and this crime? A person with a gun took this person out. I think the situation could have been much, much worse. Parallel a little bit, maybe to Audrey Hale a little bit, the Nashville Christian school shooter, possibly. Sutherland Springs, Texas church shooting, remember that? Devin Kelly. I actually interviewed the man with the gun that stopped Devin Kelly in his tracks, even though multiple people lost their lives. Could have been much, much worse there. Wild case, but we are covering this tragedy.
It's confirmed to KHU 11. The 36-year-old Genesee Moreno, also known as Jeffrey Escalante, in the past walked inside Lakewood Church on Sunday with a long rifle and started shooting. Federal agents were spotted in this Conroe neighborhood last night searching the house where the shooter stayed. Our cameras were rolling. Moreno's car was towed outside the home just within the last couple of hours. HPD says Moreno was shot and killed by two off-duty officers yesterday, and a child as young as 5 with her was shot in the crossfire along with a man. Back at the scene of the home, one neighbor describes how long this street was blocked off by law enforcement agencies.
I think it was for about 2 hours before I finally was able to come home, which was really scary because my wife was here with our kiddo, but no one was telling me what was going on. Why are there all these police officers here?
Yeah, as for that child shot, within the last 30 minutes, we did check. That child is still in critical condition in the hospital. That young boy still fighting for his life. We also just learned from authorities that that child sustained very severe injuries, and it's really unclear right now if that child will survive. So obviously, several people pulling for this child to make it through, and we are still working to find out the shooter's connection to the child in the hospital currently.
Investigators scouring this Texas home looking for potential evidence after police say a woman opened fire inside inside celebrity pastor Joel Osteen's mega church on Sunday afternoon.
Shooting a leg with 2 people down. We need ambulance.
This live stream capturing the moment the gunshots interrupted Pastor Jorge Basave. Several people appearing to descend down an escalator. Levi Andrade also recording.
I was just walking up the stairs, and when I got to the top, like, they started shooting. I don't know, like, I just heard, but it was like more than 10 shots.
The armed woman in her 30s entering the Houston church just before Spanish service was about to begin with hundreds of parishioners, according to police.
She entered the building. She was armed with a long rifle and a trench coat with a backpack, accompanied by a small child, approximately 45 years old.
The shooter shot and killed by 2 off-duty police officers. During the gunfire, that young child also shot, now in critical condition.
They were repetitive, boom, 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 and I yelled, wow!
A 57-year-old man also injured.
We don't understand why these things happen, but we know God's in control, and we're going to pray for that little 5-year-old boy and pray for the lady that was deceased.
Police say before the shooter died, she claimed to have a bomb, but officers say no explosives were found. So far, no information has been released on the
says a shooter opened fire at Joel Osteen's megachurch in Houston. Off-duty officers who were working at the church immediately jumping into action. Here's ABC's Allison Cossack with the details.
Gunfire erupting Sunday afternoon at Joel Osteen's Houston megachurch, Lakewood.
They're shooting a leg with 2 people down. We need ambulance.
The terrifying moment unfolding just as an afternoon Spanish service was about to begin. Hundreds of parishioners inside when shots rang out.
We were sitting there with my mom, and they started shooting, and we went scared, and then we went to the chairs to try to protect us, and then everybody was crazy, running and walking all the way.
Authorities say the suspected shooter, a woman, walked into the church accompanied by a small child.
She was armed with a long rifle and a trench coat with a backpack. Once she entered, at some point she began to fire.
Off-duty officers on the scene immediately engaged the suspect, striking her.
She's deceased here on the scene. Unfortunately, a 5-year-old kid was hit and is in critical condition at our local hospital.
Another person, a 57-year-old man, was shot in the leg and is recovering from his injuries. Lakewood pastor Joel Osteen thanked the officers and is grateful the situation wasn't worse.
We don't understand why these things happen, but we know God's in control, and we're going to pray for that little 5-year-old boy and pray for the lady that was deceased.
Police said before she died, the suspect claimed to have explosives in her possession. Hazmat teams called to the scene to ensure the public safety.
I can safely say that we have not found anything